What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another MLB High Five video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comments section down below to enter your name into the $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully everybody had an amazing weekend. We have a fire week ahead of us. Let's start this Monday off with a bang. Hopefully everybody is having a great Monday so far and not too grumpy that it's the beginning of the week. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. As always, you guys know the drill. Greenlightdfs.com to join the squad for DFS. As you can see, I am on the Greenlight Optimizer right now for MLB. And so yeah, definitely take advantage. You get free access to the Greenlight Optimizer with any Greenlight package. So make sure you take advantage of that when you grab your membership for the day. I definitely encourage people to, if you are planning on joining Greenlight for the day, you might as well do it early in the morning. That way you get as much time as you can to mess with projections and check things out. Because my own personal projections are going to be on this optimizer. You know what I mean? My GPP projections. I take more risk with the optimizer than I do in my cash game lines and stuff like that. But it's definitely something to take advantage of when you have that free access. Make sure you take advantage. Greenlightbets.com to join the squad for the bets. If you're in a state where you can bet on games, that is only growing in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. More and more states are clearing that. More and more states are going to be able to allow you to bet on games and props and stuff like that. Greenlightbets.com is the place to go. All these other places are expensive as shit. Like $300 for a week is ridiculous. Go hit up greenlightbets.com, roll with us. Let's get this money. If we have a losing day where we lose more bets than we win, the next day you get for free. And it's already cheap. So take advantage of greenlightbets.com if you like to bet on games. And then GLD Breaks. That's my new baby, man. I've been having so much fun breaking boxes and talking sports cards and just, in general, seeing what we got. We broke a 2021 Luminance hobby box the other day. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, that's just a new box of cards by Panini for football, the new football. We pulled a Trevor Lawrence autograph out of it, so that was a cool experience. That was cool in general. That's what we look for, man. I mean, that's a $500 to $1,000 card depending on how his season goes. So, anyways, let's get straight into this. Let's get it. Good luck, everybody. Let's get this shit. Starting off at pitching, my two pitchers that I'm leaning towards is going to be Zach Greinke. Let me go ahead and lock these two in, and Kyle Gibson. For cash games, at least for right now. Things might change as time goes on, but obviously, keep up to date with how weather and stuff is looking like that. But let me give you my reasoning behind both these guys. Zach Greinke's going against Cleveland. Strike out almost 27% of the time versus righties. Greinke's got a solid, decent K rate. He's always kept his K rate over like 21% versus lefties and righties. Cleveland hasn't had much success against Greinke in the past. It's just a good spot for him in general. He shouldn't have any limitations, as we know. He had a little bit of a shoulder issue, but he's gotten some good amount of rest. He's done some bullpen sessions, and he's looking like he's good with no issue, no limitations. So Zach Greinke in a solid spot at home in Houston, which is a pitcher-friendly ballpark. I think Greinke's a very solid, safe option today. Um, by the way, I need to have my guy put their damn pictures in here, man. Why is it all gray heads? I have no idea. Anyway, sorry. That just confused me. I'm like, what the hell? Zach Greinke does not look like that. Kyle Gibson going against Detroit. I love Kyle Gibson, man. It's a decent spot here because Kyle Gibson, honestly, has sneakily been one of the most consistent pitchers in the league this year. I mean, you're paying for him, and I don't necessarily love paying 9K for Kyle Gibson when you got Yu Darvish a couple hundred more with his K rate. You know what I mean? But I'm just talking straight safety wise. I know San Diego's got a little bit of rain issue as well, so I'm trying to balance that out. Gibson's going against a Detroit squad that strikes out 30% of the time versus righties. Kyle Gibson isn't going to kill you with his K rate. He strikes out only 17% versus lefties, but 24% versus righties, and holds righties to a very good average as well at only 240. So at the end of the day, Detroit hasn't had much success against Gibson throughout their career. They strike out 30% of the time, which a guy like Kyle Gibson, who normally doesn't have a crazy K rate, should get a little bit of an elevation here in K rate going against Detroit. And like I said, most of the time his floor's around 12. And he's got the upside like he did against KC where he got 37. He struck out 10 in that game. So he's been doing pretty good. 10 Ks and then 7 Ks and then 7 Ks his last 3 games. Expect his K rate to be pretty solid here and his floor to at least be around 15 or so. And honestly, that might be all you need. But as time goes on, I'm going to be studying. You guys know how I do things, man. I study this shit all day. So as we're going deeper through the day, I'll have more and more information I'll be looking at and kind of zoning in on it. But as of right now, I really like Greinke and Gibson as safe cash game options. At first base, my favorite bat is Pete Alonso today. Pete Alonso's in a fantastic spot going against Gutierrez. Gutierrez gives up a lot of power to right-handed bats, and Pete Alonso has a 280 ISO versus righties. He smashes the ball versus right-handed batting, and it's a hitter-friendly ballpark in Cincinnati. Expect Pete Alonso to have a big game here. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Pete Alonso ends up being pretty high owned. So if you want to get like a lower owned route, as you can see, the Greenlight Optimizer is trying to, project few guys higher than Pete Alonso. That way, you get off that possible high ownership of Pete Alonso. So like Christian Walker, Jesus Aguilar, these guys are Nate Lowe. These guys are popping up as solid value options instead of going Pete Alonso because in GPP, Alonso might be high owned. And if Alonso goes, I mean, just like any bat in the baseball can go 0 for 5. If he does that and the guy you get gets a home run, I mean, you're immediately jumping over a big bulk of people if, in fact, he does end up chalk. But I'm not too worried about it at this moment. Pete Alonso, the numbers are adding up for him perfectly. He smashes righties. He's going against a pitcher who struggles versus righties, and it's a hitter-friendly ballpark. So Pete Alonso's fantastic. On the other side of that game, there's multiple guys who are just plain and simple, just criminally cheap. And let's start first with Tyler Naquin. It's ridiculous he's 2.5, man. I mean, he's going to bat in the heart of this order. He's going to bat fourth or fifth. All right. He's going against Eichhoff, who against lefties is one of the worst in the league. 488 ISO. I'm talking about he gives up so much hard contact, it's ridiculous. Grab your Cincinnati power bats. Naquin at only 2.5 lefty righty in the heart of the order is just ridiculous. All right, I don't need to explain that much. Just play Naquin as a value. Just do it. Next up, I just talked about how bad this dude is versus lefties. Jesse Winker's about to go crazy. And at only 4.2, it's just ridiculous, man. If you look at these Cincinnati bats in this very plus matchup, they're too fucking cheap. I don't know why they were priced like this going against a pitcher who struggles so bad versus lefties. Cincinnati's got some powerful lefties. Naquin and Winker are in fantastic spots here. And yeah, expect them to go absolutely nuts. So Greinke, Gibson, these can change as I study pitching. I mean, we'll see. We've got some decent options at pitching today. Pete Alonso is one of my favorite bats on the slate, and then Tyler Naquin and Jesse Winker. Their prices are just too cheap for the outcome that I'm expecting here. I'm expecting a big game out of Cincinnati in general, and I really love Cincinnati power bats against Eichhoff. It's going to be gruesome. All right, plain and simple. Another value guy I want to mention is Phil Gosselin. Phil Gosselin's only 2-1, righty lefty against Irvin. Gosselin's been hitting over like a 320 batting average versus left-handed pitching. So he's not a guy who has a ton of power, but he's a guy that if you want a punt guy that you're hoping to just get on base, he's probably a very safe option to get on base. But we've got multiple value options that are playable today, honestly. We've got a lot of like under 3K bats that are very solid. Like Naquin is just almost locked at 2.5. Almost locked. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay? So I mean, outside of him, though, there's a plethora of value guys. So don't worry about batting. You're going to have plenty of solid bats at cheap prices. Get your pitching right, as I always say. Get your pitching right. Get to where you feel very comfortable where your pitching's at, and then start moving into the batting area. All right? Let's go ahead and go to FanDuel real quick and see what we got over here. Let's check Cincinnati, see if the pricing's as screwed up over here as it was over there. Um, Scroll this down a little bit. Boom. Okay. Let's see. Naquin. Oh my God. 2-2. Yeah, no. I have to. Castellanos, how much are you? 3.6. Winker, how much are you? 3.3. That's still too cheap. Alrighty, I'll take that. How much is Alonso? Pete Alonso's 3.8 seems a little too cheap to me as well. Let's go to pitchers. Let's check this out. So same core hit batters over here. I mean, obviously it's still beautiful over here. Now Greinke is beautiful over here as well as Kyle Gibson. I'm gonna side Greinke right here at 8.6 solely because I mean he's way cheaper than anybody else. And he's in a solid position here with his K rate and everything. So I really like this spot here. But like I said, a lot of times when it comes to FanDuel, I spend up for whatever pitcher I think could possibly score the most. Could that be Darvish? Could that be Otani? Yes, it could. You know what I mean? Gausman is a GPP option only going against the Dodgers, which is why he's projected decent because GPP he might be solid, but point per dollar wise, he's not worth it at 10.6. Um, but yeah, you Darvish is interesting. Greenlight Optimizer, I always love Otani in GPPs. His K rate is ridiculous. He's just a very good GPP pitcher, plain and simple. And he most of the time, especially on DK, he's just too cheap. But today, he's nearly 2K more than Greinke. So is that worth it? I don't necessarily know, but Greinke, I'm fine with going Greinke as the main pitcher over here on FanDuel. But like I said, man, we got a long days of work ahead of us. Make sure y'all study the slate. If you don't want to study the slate, greenlightdfs.com to join the squad, and I'll study it for you. And let's get it. All right. Good luck, everybody. Let's smash this shit today. Remember, grab the Cincinnati bats. Do yourself a favor. Okay. Now, if I end up wrong, so be it. But I think Cincinnati's gonna go crazy today, especially the lefty bats. You don't necessarily got to full stack them, but Nate Quinn and Winker are like focal points for me at this time of day right now as we speak. All right. Y'all have a great day. Tonight at 7 p.m. Central, I'll be live on my channel as always, breaking boxes at gldbreaks.com. Come check it out and hang out and maybe even grab a box or two if you're interested in sports cards. Let's get it. I'm out. Peace.